Allison, when did you find out you were going to get the start here?
The coaches had mentioned it to me earlier this week in practice, kind of as a testing out to see if I would be okay or if I preferred the role that I've been playing the past few years. But I really didn't find out for sure until I walked into the locker room before the game.
When they asked you that, what did you say?
I laughed and I said, well, I'm not going to change my routine, so I should be fine. And they were like, all right, like, see what happens.
Be ready, huh?
Yeah.
Will you talk a little bit about your play out there? I mean, it looked like you were doing the things that you need to do to help this team be successful.
Through the years, I've learned what my role has been on the team, and I know where I excel. I excel in the weight room. I excel being extremely athletic. And with this past year especially, I've learned different ways to put that into motion. Whereas Jesse Fleming is our post coach, and I think he's gotten me to pivot more in the past 3 months than I've ever pivoted in my entire basketball career. And it's just learning different ways and really how the coaches are approaching it and how they're telling me how to act around the basket and how to finish stronger, and have said it's what I need to do in order to help this team win.
I don't know about anybody else, but to me it looks like you are more comfortable out there. I mean, do you feel more comfortable, or is it still the same?
Absolutely. There's a little bit less fear being a senior that I'm going to screw up and get yanked. That's nice. It's nice being older. It's nice being experienced. And I know that my leash is longer. And so I can maybe afford a little mistake here if I can get that rebound there.
Will you talk, obviously you've heard us grilling Danielle, will you talk a little bit about the team's focus starting this game?
Coach Roos lectured us all week about how good Madonna was. And we kind of did it's Coach, she's, we could be playing the JV team from Anthony Wayne and they'd be the best team in the world. And so we kind of did that, and that hurt us. We needed this. We really did. We needed to be up only 2 at halftime to go in, because at the beginning of the game, we expected them to come out and be like, oh, they're BG. Teams aren't going to do that. We needed it. We needed to be only up 2.
At what point, how long did it take you to figure out this wasn't going to be 91-41 like last year?
That was a pretty quick transition when they started scoring, and we all kind of went back on our heels and went, whoa, like, all right. But it took till halftime for us to really get ourselves going.
And would you talk a little bit about halftime from your perspective?
Danielle Habel, as much as she doesn't like to admit it, is a fantastic leader and an amazing captain, and she sat there and told us, didn't yell, didn't really rip into anybody, but said, this is what we need to do. Like, she's the one that started it all. She's the one that started A to B to C, and then what helped was the girls that were unable to play started chiming in. This is what I saw. Like, just going from there, everyone stepped up. Everyone was sitting there chiming in, and it was a universal, hey, get our acts together. But Danielle doesn't like to admit it, but she definitely started that, and she was the one that stepped up right away.
And will you talk a little bit about what changed? Obviously, your role changed when Alexis didn't start, but just the dynamic of the team with Danielle, or with Jasmine out and Lex and so forth.
I'd like to say it didn't change that much, but we're hurting. We're small. There's not that many of us numbers-wise, and so we know what we have to do. But the hard part is we still have some freshmen that are still learning their roles, and all of a sudden we're asking them to pick up a completely different role because of what we need. And and even the veterans. Like, I mean, I could have told you at the beginning of this year if I started a game that, I don't know, I'd do something stupid, but I mean, sometimes you get things you never expect, and with all the injuries, we're getting things we've never expected.
Late in the second, you started to really break them down, get a lot of breakaway baskets. How much did that help?
That helped a lot, but what really helped in that point was we picked up our defensive pressure, and they had been on us about breaking them down defensively, and we started to do everything that we've been trained to do. We were in passing lanes, we were pressuring the ball better, and so the fact that we were able to do that, it led to those points, and it led to us getting going and a little bit of a lead, so all of a sudden things started to flow a little easier.
Anything else, guys?